I'm doing my speech on year-round school. I actually I have no information like from me personally about year-round school. I just was interested because my son just turned 5, so he'll go to school this year. And I wanted to know more about the school districts in the area. So I actually did find that there is some year-round schools here in Springfield. Southern View has one of them. The one he's going to is Lindsay though, so it's not a year-round school, but it still is kind of an interesting topic. So year-round school affects everyone. It affects students, teachers, the community, parents, even other staff besides teachers in the classroom. In the book Year-Round Education by Hauser and Nasser, they stated that since the 1980s, more than 3,000 schools transitioned from the traditional schools to year-round in the United States alone. The history of traditional schools is mainly their main purpose was to have their children help on the farms, like farmhands, helping them with the crops and irrigating and whatever else people do on the farm. And then immigrants, whenever they came over for traditional schools, that whole year round or the summer break was for them to also help on the farm. And then there was the wealthy. The wealthy people sent their children to school actually in the summer so they could have better education. And those were more in like urban communities. So what is year-round school? Year-round school doesn't just mean that it's like year-round. It's basically the same amount of days as a traditional school. It's just broken up more frequently. So instead of having like a 13-week summer break, you really only have like maybe a 5. But then you have a longer Christmas break, which would be like 4 weeks. And then you would have like a longer Thanksgiving break. And you'd have these intercessions kind of in between, where you'd have like mini vacations throughout the year. There are 2 types of year-round schools, multi and single. Single is what I'm going to be talking about mostly today because it's the most common. Multi-track is kind of complicated because when they take multiple students, and so whenever one group of students is done and they're on intercession, another group of students come in during their intercession to keep the school piled up with students. And this is for like low-income communities whenever they do that. The single track is just the regular one where they have the intercessions with no one extra coming in. And that's just to improve learning. The pros of year-round schools. Intercessions are those little breaks in between the that can benefit teachers and students. So during these intercessions, these breaks, students have the option to either just take that as a vacation or they can come to school and learn. These teachers can teach extra classes during these things, they get paid more during these intercessions, and the students can get a better education and do more activities during them. The improved learning for the students is also good. It's kind of up in the air if year-round schools are better than traditional schools or not, but from some studies, it's improved learning for the students. In the year-round school at issue book, it said that children lose knowledge with the summer breaks, and year-round schools help children who can't afford camps and other museums and trips in the summer to help continue their learning. So year-round school can definitely help them because usually the people that have more income can take their kids to summer camps and more education in summer schools. And the poorer kids have to just kind of stay at home all summer watching TV, playing video games, going to the park kind of thing. And so they're not learning as much as they would be. Year-round school also helps parents. Sometimes it can help with childcare actually. And also helps the parents have more planning on their vacations. They can have more frequent family vacations instead of just one in the summer, which can be a nice thing. And then they also have sports kind of available during these intercessions too, so you're not missing out on anything, games and everything. The cons of year-round schools. Year-round schooling by Shields and Oberg. Year-round schools can be negative for parents. And it's common with families of multiples. So like if you have one kid in grade school, another kid in high school, and one of them's going to a year-round school and one goes to a traditional. During those breaks, you don't have someone to take care of your child. It's harder to find childcare, and your kids aren't on the same schedule. So sometimes the parents dislike that disruption with having like not that nice family time because of their multiple kids. And then there is extra cost with year-round schools because it is open longer during the summer. The cost and the maintenance of the AC running, the electric, and what else? The cost of gas for the buses also can be costly. And then the cost of teachers. Having more teachers come in and stay longer hours, that can affect the cost too of the school. And also our tax dollars would go to the year-round school, and it would be more because they need more money to fund a year-round school than a traditional school. And the teachers' pay and the cleaning and maintenance would cost more too. Employment activities can be interrupted as well. Kids in high school sometimes might not have the opportunity to find those summer jobs that they used to be able to because of the shorter summer breaks. And that can affect also teachers, because some teachers in traditional schools, they depended on their summer to find additional jobs and depended on that income, and now they don't have it. And then after-school programs and childcare can sometimes be affected, not always, but they can have trouble finding childcare. And to sum up, the pros and cons are just the intercessions are a great pro to have that extra education there, that extra learning for the students, and that extra income for the teachers can be good too. And then also having those frequent breaks can be really good for family time. But the cons are, it depends on your family size and depends on the jobs you have, if that actually would work out for you and your family. To sum it up, a year-round school issue says that year-round school affects everyone differently, so it's kind of a choice. You get to pick and choose what's in your area, and sometimes you could just move to an area where you like. If you like traditional schools better, move to an area where your child will have that traditional school. Or you can move to an area that has year-round school, and that can help. So it's kind of more like a choice, not really a forced thing, unless you live in that area and can't afford to move out.